All right, I got a really good interview today. I got Frank Pontillo, aka Frankie Steele, who was a former mafia member, but now is a television star, if you will. Is that accurate?
No, not soon to be,
All
hopefully.
right. All right. So you basically have a reality show.
Correct.
All right. So tell us about this reality show. I had interviewed Larry Mazza, and he had told me this everything about MobTV. So this reality show is on MobTV, right?
Correct. Well, it starts back 30 years ago. This idea I had.
Okay.
And I was locked up, because I did some time for the Colombo War.
Uh-huh.
And during my sentence, I was sent to Lewisburg Penitentiary. And I was in the cell with a guy named Paul Sheedy. I met him at a different prison before Lewisburg, but we became cellies at Lewisburg.
Mm-hmm.
Cellies is where you share the same cell. And he was telling me about a UFO that he saw when he was a kid, him and his friends. So I've been hearing about this UFO for a long time. And at that time, I used to read books on paranormal stuff, myths, alien stuff. Oh, I don't know, everything like abnormal stuff, out of the ordinary stuff.
Yeah.
I would read those books, and I would read true crime.
Right.
And I said to him, after being in the cell with him for a while, I said, one day if we get out, we got to do a show where we do investigation on all these different myths and paranormal activity and whatnot. And we got to take the whole world on this adventure. And he goes, all right. Well, 30 years later, here we are.
Okay.
Now, I had this idea for 30 years, and I almost was putting it together in 2017, where we did a teaser reel and we sent it out to different networks. And at almost 50 networks, everybody loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. But when it got time for the higher-ups to do a little investigation of our background, they were a little nervous. Because
what part of the title didn't they understand?
Exactly. They liked the concept, but then when they saw the four main characters of this reality show are, ex-mob guys.
Right.
And it was too real for them. And again, they all loved it. The people under them who made decisions loved it. Just when it got to them higher up people, they nixed it because they didn't want to have any type of, they're condoning our ex-life, even though we denounced that life now.
Right.
So it was going around, and 2018 came, and my wife, at the time, we didn't know she was sick, but she passed out, and we took her to the hospital, and she had full-blown leukemia.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Not even, no, there was no signs. There was nothing. She was high. We were just in a different country. Wow. We came home for vacation. She passed out.
Wow.
So we took her to the hospital. They says, listen, you got to start chemo tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
And after, a 3-year battle, December of 2020, it was December 23rd, 2020, day before New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
They came in the room and said, listen, you got 2 weeks to live.
Oh.
You want to do it here or you want to do it home? Because I want to go home. So I took her home. And, the only good thing with that scenario, you get to see people who you want to say goodbye to. You choose who you want to give things to. And you can make videos with the technology today. So we made a lot of videos for my daughter. At the time, my daughter was 5. And we had to live our life in those 14 days.
Oh, man.
And then at the last day or two, we had to go back to the hospital because she ended up getting COVID.
Oh.
In the middle of dying, she ended up getting the COVID, so they had to, keep her in the hospital. So, but before she died, I told her, I said, if there's a way that you can make contact, do it. Just don't scare me half to death. And she goes, if there's a way, I'm gonna. Okay? Now, of course, you grow up Catholic, you believe in God, and then you don't know what to believe down the road when you start doing research and whatnot. But, you know, a lot of people die in your life, my life, other people's lives. But some people don't get the opportunity to make like a little plan before. And she passes.
Sorry
Now,
for that, man.
thank you. Later that night, around 6 a.m. in the morning, I finally go to sleep. So I go into one of my bedrooms where my daughter is, and I lay down next to her. As I'm sleeping, like as soon as I just like close my eyes, just starting to get into a sleep, I felt something touch my leg. So I immediately got up, and I looked at my daughter, and she was sleeping. It wasn't her. So I scooted around the bed, and I put my feet off the bed, and I was just sitting there. And then I felt something touch my face, go across my face like this. Like real touching, like real feel. So I immediately jumped up, and I went to the living room. And as soon as I got to the living room, the TV went on by itself. My remote was on my fireplace, and it went right to channel 231. That's the Food Network channel. That's a channel I used to always tell her to put on for me. But at the time, it was an infomercial. It was the channel, but they were selling pots. You know, it wasn't like it was cooking anything. It wasn't Guy Fieri. So I'm like, okay, there's something going on right now. So I'm a little excited, but I'm a little freaked out because something's happening that you always think could happen. Well, it's actually taking place. So I look outside the window. It's snowing out. I get dressed. I want to plow my driveway and get some stuff at the store before it really gets bad, the snow. So now if you take a snow globe and shake it, that's what it looks like outside.
Okay.
I get into the plow truck. I go down my driveway. I turn onto the main road. There's a blue bird, like a blue jay, flying with me by my rearview mirror. I could open my window and pet it. It was flying with me.
Wow.
When I got to the main road, I made the turn. It was flying with me, and then behind it was a red cardinal following it. I could have pet them.
Right.
It followed me a good couple of miles before I turned off. I couldn't believe what was happening. In a torrential snowstorm, these two birds were right here on my rearview mirror. So right then and there, I knew something was taking place out of the ordinary that I can't explain, but it definitely had something to do with my wife. Between the touching, the birds. So right then and there, I know there's something more to this after we're dead.
Right.
I'm convinced now for a fact. So with that fire in me, I said, I got to resurrect this show again. I got to put the team together, and we got to get this done.
Right.
Because now I need to know. I have answers. I need to know. I have questions. I need answers. And I started contacting some people. I put my team back together. And she made contact through a couple of mediums also.
Wow.
And I wasn't even there. To other people.
Really?
Okay? So there is more to this life than we know.
Right.
And we won't know till we get there. But, I always been intrigued with this stuff. And I used to read a lot of books about it. And I spoke to different, priests, rabbis, shamans, imams, all different religions on this subject, afterlife and where we go. You don't know until we get there.
Right.
But there's something more to this. And pretty much that, gave me the drive to, I was really in a bad state. I was like, I couldn't believe this happened. My wife died. I got a little girl. I got to get my time occupied. This fell like right into place. I took the Bigfoot statue. I put it by my wife's urn. Within 48 hours, I had a deal for a show on MobTV.
Really? Wow. That's amazing.
Within 48 hours. This network, it was a brainchild of Joe Paletto, Terry Winters, and a few other people. And their content is all mob-related stuff. Movies, TV shows, documentaries, everything you've seen in the last 30 years. They bought licensing, and these movies are on MobTV, which is one of the channels on the new network that they started called Infamous Media. Infamous Media is going to have a bunch of sub-channels for different genres. But the first channel to launch is MobTV.
Okay.
And the second channel is going to be Conspiracy TV.
Okay.
And besides the stuff that they license, they create their own content like Netflix does, create their own content.
Yeah, sure.
And that's where we fall in.
Okay.
It's content created for their channel.
Right.
So besides the other mob stuff that everybody's used to, they're going to have some new stuff that never been done before or saw. You know, particularly with my show, you got 4 ex-mob guys, 4 different personalities, and we do this serious. You know, we do investigations on old myths, on ghosts, on UFOs, whatever comes in, and we could decipher if it's real or not, and we go out and we do it.
Now, what's the name of the show?
The show is called Mobsters vs. Monsters.
Okay. All right. And when does its premiere?
Well, it was supposed to be this month.
Okay.
But they're, working on some more editing and stuff. So we got pushed back a little bit.
Okay.
But, you only get one shot to introduce us to the world the right way.
Right.
So anytime that's needed, extra to do a little tweaks, I'm all for that.
Right.
Because you got one shot to unleash it. And you want it to be the best. So we did a lot of filming in the summertime. We did a lot of different episodes. So you have, a couple of different things with Bigfoot, a couple of different things with Chupacabra, a couple of things with some alien stuff, a couple of things with some ghost and paranormal stuff. And one episode, it's going to be a little, scary to some people because we're actually contacting people right there live. We're contacting the other side with this team I have. This guy Tim and Rob, they really big with making their own gadgets to get to the frequencies. That's where the other side is. The more technology advances, the better we can talk to the other side. Okay. And in one episode, we made contact in a spot where somebody tried to kill me. Wow, really? So I went back to that spot because I know that spot had a lot of activity there. There's people buried there. So I figured we'll get something. Right. And we went there and we got more than we bargained for. Right. It got to the point where the cameraman stopped filming and said, "Listen, Frankie, is this bullshit?" I said, "No, this is really happening." Right. Stuff that your hair is like standing up on your bodies. Everything's just it was very intense. Wow. And the people, when they see this, they're gonna see that we're not just playing around, running around a forest or 3-4 buffoons. We take this serious. Right. We respect the different paranormal investigators and other shows, but our approach to things are a lot different. Yeah, it's the same paranormal stuff because, that's what's out there. Right. But the people that are doing it never been done before. Guys like us. Right. It's a whole new angle to something. Right. Okay. It's not only it's an angle, but it just works with the 4 people involved because the personalities, we have 30, 40-year history with each other. Right. So we're natural, when we speak, it's sometimes, to us, it's not funny. To other people, it is. Right. No, because I did see you said you put together a trailer, and it's on YouTube. Well, that trailer is just stuff that we put together with the iPhones. The real trailer it didn't come out yet. Oh, okay. Because, that's just a little behind the scenes stuff. Oh, because it looks, the trailer that you sent me, the guys, you guys are eating and you're talking and you're hanging out, and it looks funny. There are some parts that look really funny, but what you're saying is this is serious. So this is more like your interactions with each other may be funny, but the actual show and the actual events of looking for Chupacabra, aliens, Bigfoot, so on. This is all taken serious. Yeah. Similar to that. What was the name of the show? What was it? Is it Paranormal Activity or something like that?
There was a couple of shows where they had some people that went to different homes and different houses, and
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
It depends on the investigation that comes in. We have a girl on the show named Natalie Garcio.
Mm-hmm.
You might have saw her on Mob Wives. She was Natalie from Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah, she's on the show with us. That's John.
Okay.
That's one of the guy's cousins on the show.
Yeah.
John. So she's like our secretary, and she vets the investigations that come in.
Oh, my wife is gonna love this show because my wife used to love Mob Wives.
Well, she's like our secretary slash, like you need a woman involved.
Yeah. And not to mention she's quite beautiful, so it helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
But one of the guys, John, out of Philly, that's his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out good.
John, I meant that in the best way possible, John.
No, I know. He knows. And you have me. Like if you were to put us like against, like, to try to correlate us, take like remember the show The A-Team?
Yeah.
Okay, I would be the Colonel. I'm Hannibal. I'm the Colonel.
Oh, who's Mr. T?
Mr. T is Paulie because he's ex-military before the mob.
Really?
So he was special forces in the Marines.
Okay.
And he's like a MacGyver. He can build something. He can pick things up. He was like 23rd strongest man in the world.
Holy
at one
shit.
time.
Really?
And number 1 strongest man in the Bureau of Prisons.
Wow, really? Oh, I gotta get it. I gotta get him on because I'm all about powerlifting and bodybuilding and strongman.
He they take up the truck tires and throw them. He did all of that.
Oh, shit.
There's pictures of him with Lou Ferrigno back in the day. So he was big into that. But he's like the MacGyver military guy. Like, he's not, as far as jumping out of a plane, he don't want to jump out of a plane, but if he has to, he will.
Yeah.
But, he's like, that's the Mr. T. Mm-hmm. John is more like Face.
Oh.
John is the skeptic.
Okay.
He's the guy that you really got to be abducted on an alien ship for 2-3 hours getting probed before he looks over to you on the gurney and says, "Okay, Frankie, I believe this. They exist."
Right.
As he's getting probed,
Right.
So he's like that. He's the skeptic. And then you got Joey.
Okay.
Now, Joey, okay, let me just explain to you. Every good reality show has their train wreck.
Yeah.
He's our resident train wreck. And just to give you a little background, he's a bipolar.
Oh, okay.
He's a full-blown alcoholic.
Okay.
With a master's degree.
Oh, wow.
And black belts in 5 different styles and an MMA fighter.
Wow. He's a bad motherfucker.
So, he really, his midlife crisis, where he's really looking to get, like, possessed.
This sounds like a pisser, nothing.
Because he already had the fast cars and the girls.
Yeah.
He needs a good possession in his life. He needs to be dragged across the ceiling. He needs to be head spin around. He's there for that. He's down for anything.
Okay.
And what's good, the only good thing with him, when the show does air, he probably won't last a couple of months because he'll probably drink himself to death real quick.
Oh, God.
But the only good thing, we'll contact his spirit on the show every now and then. So he'll still be there with us.
Yeah, how does he get paid, though?
Yeah. He'll still be there.
I really can't wait to watch this. Like, I was looking forward to it before this interview, but now I really can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And then you got my daughter, who's like the boss of all of us.
Yeah, I saw her on she has her own YouTube channel. She's absolutely adorable.
Thank you. Yeah, so she's like, because the show revolves around my life. It's a reality show. You're in my house. You see what I do. I take care of my daughter, and she's hanging out with us. She comes on investigations with us. So does Paulie's daughter also, but she's older. She's 18.
Okay.
Any investigation we do that's not life threatening, we bring the kids on. To give them a little adventure to explore.
Sure.
So and it shows a couple of episodes. We show how, we're not the people that they portray in these mob movies. That we are human. We believe in family. We just like everybody else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, you know, we did a couple episodes with that showing that we are normal.
Mm.
You know, regardless what society, you know, says or what law enforcement indicted us for, you know, we deep down we are good people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's
gonna.
I can't wait to get this. I can't wait to watch it. Because first of all, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest skeptic in the world. The paranormal stuff, everybody loves that shit. Because if there's an ounce that believes you wanna look into it. Me and my wife, sometimes we just like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's see if there's a scary movie on. And we always go to the paranormal stuff, the possession. We always, and we know it's a stupid movie, but we always go to that to watch it. And then, you know, we get a bunch of junk food and then, you know, we're watching that. And as far as like, you know, looking for Chupacabra and Bigfoot and what's the other one in Scotland? The Scotland Yard. What was it?
Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah. As far as that, they've been looking for that shit for years. It never gets old. But the best part is you got 4 guys from that were ex-mafia guys, 4 knockaround guys looking for it. This has never been done before. So,
well, I'm gonna fill you in a little bit about Bigfoot, and I want you to really. I'm not a crazy person. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
There's 2 million of them on Earth.
All right. Go ahead. Continue.
Right? I've been in touch with investigators, scientists. I have one group of scientists that work for NASA that swear Bigfoot is something alien, and I'll tell you why. Then I have another group of scientists that been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, swear it's something that didn't evolve, but it's very smart. Then I have another group of scientists that actually see them on the regular. But there's like a deal made between them that we'll let you see us from afar, but you can't take any pictures. As soon as you do, you're done. And I have this group that's been mingling with them for maybe 15 years now.
And this is all going to be on the show. All these people are going to be on the show?
I got them on the show, but the ones that see the Bigfoot, the ones that actually still intermingle with them, they don't want to be on the show because the Bigfoot is very intelligent. Okay? And they don't want to mess it up for nobody. And on the other hand, the government knows all about them. If you happen to kill a Bigfoot, just say, they come down with an IRS case for you. That's the first thing that they wreck your life with.
But and then, how would you kill a Bigfoot? Like, you mean if you're hunting, let's say, and
if you were hunting and the thing actually, you know, you actually killed it, you would have a problem with the government.
Wow.
Even though they're hard to kill. They're superhuman strength, and they're very smart. They can smell trail cameras. They can smell the battery, the plastic. They can hear stuff. They're extremely smart. I don't know if they're alien. I don't know if there's something that didn't evolve, but there's something.
Right.
Because I've been with people and sat down with people who've seen them multiple times on separate occasions. Where these people are normal people. You know, it's like talking like to somebody in your family.
Wow.
It's like that's how believable and serious they are about it. And
now I don't want you to give any show away or any episodes of the show, but did you come in contact during the show? But
here's what I did.
You could give me like a run of the mill.
I'm just going to give you a quick thing.
Okay.
I'm not looking to run around in the forest with a flashlight, hoping to see something and waste my time.
Right.
So a few investigations came in a 20-mile radius. Okay, in a particular spot. And all 3 people, you went and investigated them and spoke to them, and they were very credible. I mean, one guy was walking around his house with a rifle, scared to death still.
Wow, okay.
He don't go nowhere without this rifle on. It's like he's a soldier in his own house.
Right.
Okay? And what I did was, I'm friends with a couple of military guys that are training to be drone pilots.
Okay.
Now, before you can go drop a bomb in another country, you have to have thousands of hours here of just flying it around.
Okay, I got you.
Okay? And they work with the state game commission to fly over the game lands at night with thermal imaging software to get a count of the different wildlife. And they can tell with the software exactly what it is. A deer, a bear, a rabbit, a chicken, a turkey, a bird, a mouse. It sees everything with heat, military grade.
Yeah.
It picks it up.
Right.
So now I get my friend and I said, listen, if I give you coordinates from a spot, can you backdate and try to get me the footage of a certain time? He goes, I'll see what I could do. He ends up doing it. So now I get the footage and I put it in the thing. I'm watching it. And at a particular time at night, between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., there's an object that's too large with a question mark that they don't know what it is.
Really?
Yeah. So once I got the latitude and longitude of that,
right,
I went to that spot.
Okay.
And when we got there, we were looking around, walking. I walked past the same thing about 4 times until I backtracked. And I told my friend's son, Turbo, he's on the show. I says, what does that look like to you right there? So he's looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and I know what I see.
Right.
He goes, it's a giant foot. I'm like, you see what I see, right? So now we move some leaves away. It was so big.
Right.
Like the toe was big.
Right.
One toe. It was giant. So now I'm looking for the other foot. We're looking. I find it. It's 12 and a half feet away. The stride.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The stride. So now I know something's not right. So now we're looking around. We're taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get to a point where this thing is seen on the coordinates, and it looked like a bulldozer went through there and knocked the trees down, but without the tracks.
Right. That's fucking, yeah, that's insane.
And now we're all standing there, and now I find fur 14 feet high in a tree.
And this is all on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this shit.
I find this fur that smelled like death.
Really?
Death. It smelled like bodies, like something rancid, like just bad.
Mm.
And we bagged it up. We sent it out. They can't even identify it.
Really?
Yeah. I went to the #1 guy who does taxidermy in this eastern region. Has no idea what it is.
Right.
This guy stuffed everything.
Frank, you know what you just reminded me of? When you said you went to a guy, when we were back in Brooklyn, when you go, you got a guy, I got a guy, you got to go to the guy.
I got a guy for everything, and you'll see on this show, I utilized all our underworld old contacts.
Really?
Yeah, because I never know where I'm going to be, where it's going to take us. So we use different guys. Like one guy, I needed a Mexican gangbanger guy to be an interpreter for a Chupacabra one time.
Okay, I got you.
So we utilized my whole underworld contacts still, because you never know when we might need them. Right.
Yo, I can't wait to watch this.
And that's our approach onto Bigfoot, because I'm not looking to waste my time running around the forest. I walked around the forest for 3 days, and I couldn't walk for a week after that.
Yeah, right. Fuck that. I don't blame you.
My feet were killing me.
Yeah, right.
Last time I walked like that, I was in Lewisburg.
Getting back to what we were saying, that show sounds great. It sounds like it's got everything. Like, listen, I said, man, I don't care who you are. People love that shit, man.
Listen.
Good.
Our approach to this is different. We do everything unorthodox, but we get the job done.
Right.
Right. And the way we do it, it's again, I'm not looking to waste my time or anybody else's time. Mm-hmm. So I want to go out there and find something. I'm not looking just to go around in the dark,
right?
Make a couple little howls and knock a tree.
Right.
I lost you.
That's all right. I got it.
Yeah,
So I
and
mean that sounds tremendous.
you know,
I can't wait. And there's other shows on there too. I think Larry Mazza has a talk show, right?
yes, yes. Larry Myers is gonna have a talk show, and there's a couple of different shows in the works. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. And
All right, cool.
what's good about it, I believe it's gonna be free, and with a little commercials. But if you don't want the commercials, you got to pay a couple of dollars, which is not a lot.
Right.
But once everybody sees what's on this network, it's like having a mob Netflix type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, everything mob.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely getting it. I can't wait. The minute that it comes out is the day I'm putting it on my TV. There's no question.
And all things happen for a reason. Like, you know, we did a lot of different networks, a lot of different almost were right there. Mm-hmm. And then I had to take off for 3 years and, you know, go back and forth to the hospital. And then, boom, this network was like made for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fantastic. You know? Well, right now, especially on YouTube and social media, the mafia,
it's coming back.
World,
it's coming back.
Huge. Yeah, it's huge. So, so speaking of which, you are from the same neighborhood I am, right? Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yeah, from Bensonhurst. Yeah.
And where in Bensonhurst did you grow up?
Well, I grew up on 18th Avenue. 18th Avenue, 71st Street, 18th Avenue and 84th, a little bit on Bay 50th. You know, 13th Avenue is where I, you know, as I got older, I ended up on 13th Avenue.
Okay.
And, you know, the mob guys that were there, you know, I fell into their trap, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, it's intriguing. I mean, I lived on 19th Avenue and 61st Street. Yeah. And the neighborhood was plagued with it. You know, it was plagued with it. Now, and what's funny is, I don't remember you. I don't remember Larry. The guys that I remember Anthony Spiro. I remember Ali Shades.
Okay.
I remember TG, but TG was from Staten Island. Of course, Sammy the Bull, like he was from Bensonhurst. But there's this. It seemed like you, Larry, so on and so forth. I didn't know who you guys were till YouTube and social media and Vlad TV and Value Team. It seemed like you guys had a better. You kept silent better until.
It's not a question. It's not relatively kept silent better.
Okay, good.
You know, you're talking about Anthony Spiro. He was the staple of Bath Avenue.
Right.
You know, you're talking about, you know, the concierge of the Bonanno family. You know, you're talking about the underboss, Sammy the Bull. You know, he was known because of all the stuff with John and the different trials and Paul Castellano hit and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You're talking about TG because he's been around for forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think he passed. Didn't he pass?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And you know, then you have your other staples in the neighborhood that everybody knew. Joe Mann, everybody knew Angelo Defendis. You know, everybody knew these people. Yeah. But then you had the underlings that were just in the mix.
The soldiers, right.
You know, in the mix. Everybody was just in the mix. And again, if you was in pastels back in the day, Ali Shades, you know, you knew Ali Shades.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we were there 3 days a week.
Right. Yeah,
You know, Wednesdays was jogging suit night, Sergio Tacchini, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I was young, but I remember Sergio Tacchini suits, yeah.
Yeah. So how old are you now?
45.
Okay, so you really, by the time you were mingling around with everything, say like 18, 19, we were already all in jail.
Yeah. Things changed significantly in the 90s in Bensonhurst.
Well, where were you when the Colombo War was taking place?
I was already in Staten Island at that point.
But you remember all the shooting and everything?
Like it was yesterday. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that was us.
I remember the guy. There was a guy from Staten Island. The guy he owned the restaurant. Was it Hedges? And they found him in the back of his car.
That wasn't part of the war. He got shot because he was mingling with somebody's wife.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
And they shot him in that groin area.
Yeah, smart guy. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about you. So,
yeah,
were you ever a actual made member of a crew, or you were just the workhorse?
No, I was associate.
Oh, okay. You were an associate. And what crew were you associated with?
Well, I was part of Bobby Zam's crew, Michael Sessa's crew,
Okay.
and basically they were with Greg.
Okay. Okay.
You know, Bobby Zam was with Greg Scarpa out of that
Uh-huh.
crew. Michael Sessa had his own little crew, but his brother was the concierge, Carmine Sessa.
Okay. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and I stood with a couple of people, Big Jerry and everything, and that's how I met Bobby Zam and was on record with Bobby Zam.
Yeah. I remember.
You know?
I remember Carmine Sessa. I do remember him.
Yeah, he was the concierge, and he had a brother Michael who was a captain.
Okay. Okay.
And during the war, you know, basically they used us, promising us the world. You know, do this for us now, and you know you'll get rewarded after you get straightened out after this is all over.
Right.
And now, you know, being blinded by the life, you know, a day like this you were waiting for, a full-blown war where you could prove yourself now, start shooting people, and rise up.
Now, how did you get involved with this particular crew?
Well, basically, I started out with being around Jerry, Big Jerry, and his father was Bobby Zam.
Okay.
So I know him since I'm a kid. And Bobby Zam got straightened out. And then that's when I became on record with him through his son, Jerry. And then I started doing little things for them. And Greg Scarpa was involved. I used to go to the club when I was younger, you know, because I met them all through my father. My father did 50-something years, 52 years, 51 years.
Yeah, so you were kind of born. You were born into it.
Oh no, I wasn't born into it. I was born into the cycle, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the cycle was this life. Because you grow up around it and you see everything, and you want to be like that. You want to make the money. You want the respect.
Sure.
But in the end, it's just a downfall. Nothing but treachery, no love. It's not what it's really made out to be in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I was around, you know, serious guys, young, and then the war happened, and I was running around with a madman, and he had a license that we didn't even know. This guy was working with the government for 30 years, killing people.
You're speaking about Greg Scarpa, right?
Yeah, and we didn't know, and that a whole case was built on that. You know, and every time it came out that he was cooperating with something, he just killed somebody in front of everybody, and that would just say, like, there's no way this guy's cooperating.
Right.
He just killed this guy. There's no way.
Yeah.
You know? Meanwhile,
yeah,
it was true.
Right.
You know?
So if you don't mind me asking, how deep did you get? Was it as bad as Larry, where they asked you to pull the trigger, or?
Yeah, I was on multiple situations, you know, and the guy didn't die. I thought I had him. Guy Bobo Malpiso. You know, I had him in the crosshairs, and I don't miss. And it was from car to car. And the particular Lincoln he was driving had a special headrest with a plate inside it. And that saved him. That saved him, yeah.
Is he alive today?
He died now of natural causes.
Oh, okay.
In prison. But I had him. I mean, I got in the car. I was running to the car. All of a sudden, his head popped up and he took off.
Wow.
And I already sent 4 shots into the car already.
Right.
You know, but now during my trial, they brought that in. They had the whole car as evidence. You know, this moron didn't burn the car. He kept it and had it fixed. So the FBI took it to Virginia and analyzed it, took it apart. Not only did they find my bullets, they found other bullets in the trunk.
Oh God!
Going down to the gas tank.
Now he was
on the Arena faction.
That's right. He was on the Arena faction. Okay.
I was on the Persico faction.
Now, when this war was going on, did you quote unquote go to the mattresses? Were you not in Brooklyn? Were you hiding out somewhere? Like Larry said, he used to.
I was in a safe house with other shooters, and we only came out to hunt.
Yeah. Wow. What a life. My God. How many guys did you live in the safe house with?
I was in a safe house. It was me, Big Jerry, Bobby Zam, Johnny Pate, Greg, Jimmy, and another guy, Frank, and Alan. We were in one safe house in Staten Island.
Wow.
And we had, 2-car garage. One had a stolen van, one had a stolen car. And we would just come out when the spotters saw somebody where they were. They would, contact us, and we would go and hunt them down.
And if you don't mind me asking, how many guys did you actually hunt down?
Oh, I hunt down a lot of people, but you got to remember, the people you're hunting down, they know you're coming for them.
Right.
So a lot of times during the hunt, you were getting shot at. So it was a little difficult at times, because you go, it's not like you go in this to shoot somebody that has no idea you're coming. These people knew we were coming. So it was a crazy time in my life that I still know how I was involved in it.
Yeah. Now, is it during the time you were young? I would assume in your 20s.
Yeah.
During the time, did you love the life? Was it like exciting? Was it like a rush, or was it more like why am I doing this?
At the time, I loved it. I believed in it.
Right.
And I would have died for it.
Right.
And that's what I did. Basically, I gave myself to them for the life, for my reward. One day when it's over, when the war was over, we were all going to get straightened out. Everybody who participated. And meanwhile, it was a whole other plan. And I look back and I say to myself, how did I even get involved in this? How did I let myself get involved in this? Sitting in jail. Now, you got to remember, you don't know, the Nicky Black hit.
That I know. The story I know, yeah.
Okay. That hit gave me life. Okay. Now, I'll tell you why. Now, who did the hit. He spoke about it.
Right.
But because we're all on the Persico faction and we were indicted for conspiracy to assassinate all Arena faction members. Now, there was 2 murders that put me at level 43, which is life. And one was a mechanic in Staten Island, and one was Nicky Black, and then there was 19 other attempted murders.
Wow. Holy shit.
So pretty much the first time out the box with a real case, I had life.
Wow.
Now, the judge we had, Judge Glasser, before we get sentenced, we have a sentencing hearing. And he pretty much took my indictment and threw it on the counter and yelled at the prosecutors, telling them, for a choice of better words, this was a faulty and manipulative indictment. And he downly departed us to 35 years.
Like it's some kind of gift.
Now, I was happy.
You might have a shot.
I was happy. I'll be out above the 60. I'll be out.
Wow.
Now, hold on one second. Lucia. Yeah. And so now, stuff starts happening with Greg Scarpa. It's coming out that he actually was an informant. And some of the trials that went to trial after mine, they were getting acquitted. So now we put paperwork in because the main killer on my case was Greg Scarpa.
Right.
And you can't work with an agent of the government, which he was.
Yeah.
Okay? So now we put more paperwork in, and now we get it down to 13 years. Now I'm just all smiles. I'm in Lewisburg, jogging every day, losing weight. I'll be home any minute because now I'm saying the 13 years we're not going to have to do because we're going to get out before that.
Right.
So now the corruption starts. The agent gets indicted years later. Other people get indicted. They start whitewashing it. They don't want to let us out because they're afraid we're going to give lawsuits. And we're all going to be entitled to win millions of dollars that they don't want to pay.
Wow.
So they wait almost a decade to answer the last motion.
Oh.
And basically what he said was, listen, you got your break. You know what you did.
Right.
You understand? So I can't complain. I have a lot of respect for that judge. But the corruption level in the Eastern District of New York is out of control.
Really?
The prosecutors that were involved, one, they made him a judge as reward of sweeping all the Greg stuff under the rug.
Oh.
One became the head of Washington's DOD.
Wow.
Okay, and a bunch of them got transferred to high-level positions. All because they let this, conspiracy that they were plotting on us. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew in that building, law enforcement and judge-wise, that Greg Scarpa was an informant, right. A top entourage informant working for 30 years, but us.
Okay.
But yet they wanted to let us rot. Mm-hmm. But there's still one person left behind. Michael Sessa, Carmine Sessa's brother. Mm-hmm. He's the last, besides Vicarina, he's the last left behind where he deserves to get out. And they don't want to have a lawsuit. They hope he dies.
Wow.
He's in almost 30 years now. He's not supposed to be there.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
The corruption level is so entwined to Washington mm-hmm. that, I'm surprised, that it's hard to even say. Like, it's so mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, people hear, conspiracy theorists, he's, biased. And no, this really is happening. The government is more corrupt than the gangsters.
I could totally believe that. I could totally see that. Because, if you stick to the book, they probably wouldn't get anybody. But then it probably goes overboard, where it's just, they don't only bend the rules. They create new rules.
They create new rules. They bend the rules. And I see firsthand what they did with me and with us. If they had their way, I'd be still rotting in my cell till I die.
Now you did 13 years.
Well, I did. I got it down to 13 years.
Okay.
But while I was incarcerated, I got in trouble again.
Okay. How did you get in trouble?
I was bribing the cops to bring stuff in.
Okay.
And one cop got caught coming in with lobster tails and cryogenic sperm kits.
What? What cryogenic sperm kits? What is that for? You got to explain.
Well, I'll just do it briefly. People wanted to have babies, and they were getting out at a later time, and their wife's biological clock was ticking. So they did the bio,
whatever the fuck
that type of sperm kit, that sperm kit to have a kid.
Wow. Yo, that is. Where did you cook lobster tails?
In the microwave.
That's amazing. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So, but he got caught. Like, he was bringing us stuff in, and he was doing stuff, and he ended up telling on us, and we all went to the hole. So I went to the hole for 3 years.
Wow, really?
I had no phone for 5 years, no commissary for 5 years, no visits for 5 years. Then I was on the 36th month of the hole. The warden retired. He dropped something, and I got put on a Conair airplane jet for 4 months. Yeah. I traveled around the whole United States Monday through Friday, chained to myself in a chair on a plane. No one even knew where I was. And then I ended up in Terminal Island after being in that hole for 6 months. So I got 3 years in the hole, 4 years on the Conair, 4 months on the Conair, and then 6 months in the hole at Terminal Island. And I ended up having to do 15 years. I lost all my good time. And I got 18 more months on my sentence for the bribery charge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But I got a chance to write. I was writing in the hole. I wrote a couple of screenplays. I wrote a mini-series. I wrote some stuff.
One of the things you wrote was Price of Blood, right?
Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah. And I tell you, it's a good little movie. Mm-hmm. I learned how to write screenplays in prison from a real screenwriter professor. Mm-hmm. See, he was addicted to crack and strippers. So during his lunch breaks at the college, he would go rob banks.
Jesus Christ.
And he got caught. And he ended up coming to the federal system. See, in the federal system, you get all walks of life from all over the world.
Right.
It's not like a state prison where it's just New York State, California State, Jersey State. The federal prison, you're with people from Colombia, Japan, America, Mexico, you know, and then you have all the little federal crimes of all the different types of money crimes and doctor crimes, and you know, the whole spectrum of crime is in the prison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I got a chance to learn how to write screenplays from an actual professor.
Wow. I mean, no, you know, the saying you could write a book is literally fiction.
Yeah.
And are you?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys are. I mean, Larry wrote a book, and Anthony Caucci, I had him on. He wrote a book. Are you doing anything like that?
Well, I mean, I could if I really wanted to.
Yeah,
I could,
definitely.
you know, but I have a lot of stuff written that I wrote already that's in screenplay mode, you know, written as a screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to get those done.
Okay.
That's more me. I'm more creative with that. Music.
It sounds like you're a creative guy, and it sounds like you know, if you didn't get mixed up in this world, you could have been extremely successful.
I'll tell you, before I got mixed up with this, right? I used to do a lot with music.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a record contract
mm-hmm.
in the middle of all this craziness. And I didn't pursue it because I got locked up, but that was my key out when I was younger. But I got too wrapped up in things.
Yeah.
But I still have that creative spark in me.
Right.
You know, music-wise, editing with movies and little videos. And like I'm doing a movie now myself. It has no purpose. It's just a lot of killing, drugs, and girls and money. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing it myself. I'm editing it myself with my camera crew and a couple of my friends. Mm-hmm. You know, I got a good camera guy and editor, Castro Zaytana. I got a couple of actor friends of mine because I've been in a lot of different movies also.
Yeah, I saw. I researched you a little bit. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I did. You know, my first movie was a Steven Seagal movie 30 years ago.
Really?
You know, yeah, Out for Justice.
Is that the one where you filmed all over Bensonhurst?
yeah. But I went to film in California.
Wow, that's something else, man.
And now when I was filming in California for that, that's when we got called back because the war was about to start.
Wow.
And we got called back, and they were like, "This is what's."
Literally, like you were a soldier, like you were being deployed. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, not made soldier, but we did all the grunt work. We did all the dirty work.
Right.
You know, and we got called back, and Bobby sat us down and said, "Listen, this is what's going to happen. You could get killed. You're going to have to kill, or you're going to go to jail. It's your choice. Mm-hmm. You want to go back to California and do music and this stuff, or you want to stay here and get involved with this?" He goes, "You know, it's your choice." And actually, I'm not going to leave my friends. And I stood.
I'm going to ask you a straightforward question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, or if you can't answer it, you don't have to answer it. How many people did you kill?
No, I didn't kill nobody.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Just that one guy that came real close.
Oh, yeah, he came close.
Okay, one more question, and I'm going to let you go because I know it's been an hour already, and I know you're getting tired.
That's all right.
I usually take a short piece and like real short, like a couple of minutes, and I make it a TikTok video. And the one I did with Larry is I had asked him to tell me about a beating. You know, like a serious beating that you partook in or that you witnessed or so on and so forth, and tell me what was behind it. And he told me about this beating. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Can you tell me a scenario where either you got into a fist fight or you were told to give somebody, you know, teach somebody a lesson for whatever reason or so on and so forth, and maybe things got out of hand or so on and so forth, like something to that effect?
I mean, there's a few good ones. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one in particular that always, you know, sticks out in my memory because we used to joke about it a lot afterwards. We were in Pastels, me, Jerry, Greg, and Jimmy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're starving, so you go to the diner. So instead of going to the Vegas diner, we went to the diner on 3rd or 4th Avenue, the Narrows something diner.
Absolutely. I remember. Sure. I remember both diners.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we walked in and we're going to our table. And we passed the table of drunk kids, like drunk guys. Yeah. And they were like, oh, look, the drug dealers just walked in.
Oh, boy.
Okay. And again, it didn't bother me, but it bothered Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like, what did you say? And before you know it, we start fighting everybody.
Right.
So it's 4 guys at the table. And after, each one got knocked out cold, I was dragging them by their ankle to the vestibule in the front lobby.
Yeah.
And I put the first one down on his face. I went back while the other one was getting beat up. I got the second one that was knocked out cold. I brought him, dragged him out to the lobby. I put him on top of the other guy.
Okay.
Okay. So I did that with all 4. And I stacked them all on top of each other. Yeah. And then I put the guy's ass on the guy's face who said, look at the drug dealers. But they all were unconscious in a pile in the lobby.
That's the only time I bet you wish you had a cell phone back then so you could take a picture.
If I had a cell phone back then, that would have went viral.
Oh, yeah.
But that one sticks out because the joke was I was just piling the bodies on top of each other,
Yeah.
And these guys were so drunk and knocked out, they didn't even know. But I wish I could have been there when they actually woke up.
Yeah, can you imagine? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that
was a funny one.
That's a funny story, man. Speaking of diners, do you remember Richie Lou's on 18th Avenue?
Yeah. My friend shot himself in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How the hell did he do it? What was that all about?
We ordered cheeseburger deluxes. They came. He went to move his gun to the other side.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it went bop, and it popped off. And he shot himself in the stomach.
Oh, my God. How bad was it?
You gotta wait. I grabbed my cheeseburger and I says, give me 2 minutes. I'll call the ambulance for you outside. And I walked out.
Wow. How bad was it?
It went through his stomach, his fat. So it went through the top of his stomach, went to the bottom. And it didn't go into his leg. It just went through his stomach.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So did you guys just rag on him for that for like forever?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. And what kind of piece did he have on?
It was a 9mm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a good story to end on, Frank. I'm going to let you go, man, because, maybe we'll do a part 2 because it sounds like you really need to write a book because the stories you're telling me from the MobTV to, everything. It's a crazy life, man. But, I'm really glad that you're doing well. I'm glad you guys are, well,
I just want to say one thing.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Again, anybody that's out there and thinks the mob life is glorious and glamorous and it's, the best thing ever, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It took me some time to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
It's all right.
I lost you. It took me some time to realize that.
Yeah.
And anybody that's out there that's involved in it, if there's a chance for you to get out clean, get out while you can, because the technology that law enforcement has for you, you just don't have a shot.
No, definitely not. Especially today, it's definitely not. And
don't have a shot.
No, definitely. And what could be possibly left? I mean, I know they just recently, last month or the month before, arrested Andrew Russo, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, the quality of guy changed a lot in the last 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
And the old timers, they're all dying off now.
Yeah.
Then you have that last group who's going to be in their 60s that are going to try to run stuff, but eventually they're going to die. And then the kids that are 20, 30, 40 now, it's a different quality of guy.
Yeah.
They never did nothing.
Yeah.
Some of them probably don't even know how to load a gun.
Yeah. It's a different world now, right? Yeah.
Probably none of them some probably never had a fight.
Yeah.
And they're getting straightened out.
Oh.
So it just makes you wonder,
Yeah, right. Well, Frank, listen, man.
Again, I'm not knocking, I'm not knocking it, but, for anybody who's thinks it's great, it's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, the movies makes it look great and fun and glamorous, but it's not. Mm-hmm. The destruction it causes is more than the good. Because really, in the end, there is no good. You could do other things with your life and be more productive with a legitimate life than doing non-legitimate things.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all.
I appreciate Frank, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Right,
and I'm really glad that you're doing well for yourself. And I am certainly going to get Mob TV when it comes out. There's no question about it. Definitely.
And then right before we're going to air, we'll do another show before it airs.
Oh, that'd be great. Definitely, dude. Thank you so much.
I'll have all the guys with me too, so you can meet everybody.
Really? Oh, that would be fantastic, man. I'm holding you to it.
No, you got it. I got it. Don't worry. You
Frank,
got it.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Then. All right, listen.
All right,
have a good night. We'll be in touch.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.